Hey there, my fellow lunatics. Dakon the Mad here, and today I've got another dodge build video for you. Now this one's a little bit different from the last one that I made. That one was designed for early game when you've just kind of gotten into Azios's wilderness and things are just getting started. This one is for more late game after you've reached the desert and you have access to pretty much the paladin gear. Paladin gear is what changes this build heavily. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you exactly what kind of gear you're looking for. Okay, so the three big pieces of gear that you're going to need here are the Paladin Mask, the Paladin Harness, and the Paladin Pants. All three of these items are acquired the same way. They can be found in the Desert of Beginnings, and you can find them by unlocking a Galaxite chest, if you find any locked Galaxite chests. They can also be found within the Temple sub-biome area, where they are found in the large Temple crates. You can also find them within the gold ancient chests. So if you see any of those golden ancient chests, open those. Good chance you'll find a pair of Paladin armor. The next piece of gear you're going to need is the conch shell necklace. This is acquired in the sunken sea. It is at the giant conch shell scene. It's pretty much impossible to miss. It's a massive rainbow colored shell. Hit that shell and it will get you the conch necklace. Next, I'm wearing both Astara rings in each one of my ring slots. You can get the Astara ring by killing the awakened Azios during the Easter event. If you need to activate the Easter event, just go into your game settings and change it so that Easter is the active event, and then you can gather everything that you need to summon Awakened Azios. You're going to need to summon him twice, because he only drops one ring each time you kill him. Next, I've got Morpha's Bubble Bag. This bag can be found by defeating Morpha in the Sunken Sea, and really isn't part of this build. It's just a nice bag to have. If you have the Octarine bag, that is also perfectly fine, considering that gives glow, and there's really nothing else in this set that gives glow. So if you need something like that for lighting, use the Octarine bag instead of Morpha's Bubble Bag. The last thing on our list here is the Caveling ID. This can be found in the Sunken Sea as well, within the various metropolises. It has a chance of dropping in any of the various chests within the Forlorn Metropolis. So that is gear, and what does that get you? Well, with all of this gear equipped, as well as some skills that I'll show you in a second, you have a 67% dodge chance. You'll see that it already jumped up to 90. That's because I have a 25% dodge chance from standing still. The gear actually gives you 57%. I get an additional 10% from a skill, and then I get the rest of it from this other skill. So let's go ahead and just start talking skills. What skills do you need to help your dodge build? The first important skill is in the running tree, and it is right here, Balanced Stance. Once you max it out, you get a 25% dodge chance after standing still for a short duration. The last important skill for the dodge build is in the fishing tree. You head on down here to Studied Patterns. Once you max this out, you have a 10% dodge chance. So between these two skills and all of this gear, that will max you out at 90% dodge. But what about food? Because for some people, you may not have your fishing high enough to be able to get that 10% boost, or maybe you don't want to spend all of those points in the balancing skill in order to get that 25% boost when you stand still. If you do take all of the skills and you are wearing all of the gear, then you do not need any dodge-based buff food. However, if you do want some dodge-based buff food, the best item is the golden dartfish. This fish is what gives you the highest % chance for your dodge skill boosts. The golden dartfish is found within the Sunken Sea, so just fish anywhere there and you will be able to get this. When it comes to whatever crop or golden crop you use, it really doesn't matter what you combine it with. I went ahead for this one and I used the golden carrack so that I could get an extra armor bonus, because One of the things that this build does lack a bit is it does lack a little in defense. It has 168 armor right now, but it would be nicer to have that a little bit higher so that I could absorb some of that damage. You're also going to want, if you're fighting bosses with this build, you're definitely going to want to eat some buff food that will decrease the amount of damage that bosses deal to you. So anything that has the golden pafungi in it would be excellent for that. So for this, I ended up making the golden stone dip snack, and it gives me an 18% dodge chance for the rare version. For the epic version, it gives me a 21% dodge chance boost. So those are the percentages that you have to work with if you need to sacrifice anywhere in your gear or in your stats in order to keep yourself as close to or at 90 while being able to mix and match some of your gear a little bit. So let's put this build to the test a little bit. Since I am going to be moving around a lot, I'm not going to be able to get that dodge bonus that I normally have for standing still. So let's go ahead and eat this buff food. That'll help me out a little bit. I won't be at exactly 90. Let's see here. I'll be at 85%, which I think that's actually good enough for right now. So as you can see, I'm getting missed by most of these shots, so it makes it pretty easy for me to navigate around this biome. If I am running around in my speeder here... Sorry it's a little dark. Unfortunately, I don't have much glow with this build. But if I run along the coastline here... I'm avoiding enough damage that I don't have to worry too much. And even in the desert, these assassins just swing and they don't get anywhere. I can just stand here with one of them or with a whole group, and they're just not much of a threat. So let's put this build to the test a bit. I'm going to go ahead, since I'm already nearby, and let's visit Omeroth. Let's do a quick summon on her. Now, in this case, I'm going to actually eat more buff food. So I've got my Elder Mold Cheese here. This improves a lot of my crit chance. And I've got this Puffy Fruit Smoothie. And I've got a Verdant Pepper Wrap. And, of course, I've got my Golden Dip Snack here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to eat all of this. And then I'm going to fight this boss, and you should know that I am in a hard mode world. So this will be a hard mode fight, and I'm going to do it completely in a dodge set, and I'm going to do it with my throwing daggers. If I need to, I'll switch to melee with the Prehistoric Crystal Spear, but I'm going to try to do the whole thing ranged with my throwing daggers. And there she goes. Omeroth taken down in hard mode with a dodge build. No problems. I had to heal a few times, but I was never in any real danger. So this build works great for bosses. It works great for just roaming around, keeping yourself alive, as you can avoid the tentacles. You can avoid the assassin's daggers in the desert. It's a very, very useful build. I like to make this my main build because it's just a good all-around general build to have. So what do you think about this build? What do you like about it? What are you concerned about? Leave a comment below. I'll answer whatever questions that you may have. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if this is your first time at my channel, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more Core Keeper content. And until next time, stay crazy.